All right, the red light is on. Dave Van Auken, L. Dawson. It's Tuesday afternoon, my favorite day of the week. L, how are you?
I'm good. I'm back in my own studio.
Oh, were you displaced on Sunday? Were you somewhere else?
Huh?
Were you displaced on Sunday?
Oh, I was in Grant's office, so I'm back in my
nice,
little.
nice.
I'm
Talking about.
I'm gonna have a background soon.
Ooh, do you know what it is already?
No idea.
Oh, okay. Talking about Grant, you see on the bottom ticker, guys, Francis Marshall at 130, Gillian the Savage Robertson at 2, Grant Dawson 220, the Mean Machine, Steve Garcia 245. I can't wait for that. I already can't wait for 245, Al. I'm pumped.
It's going to be great. I'm super excited to talk to Steve Garcia. I've been a fan of his for a really long time.
Likewise. He's on a run right now. It's turn back the curtain a little bit. Every time we get a guest, we know of them, of course, and remember their fights. But you go on Tapology, just kind of go through. I'm like, this guy's on a 5-fight winning streak, finish streak. This man's on fire.
Absolutely, yeah. And one of the best divisions, too. So super pumped to talk to him.
Chase Hooper was one of those guys. So shout out Steve Garcia, 245. It's International Fight Week. We have a ton to talk about. I just swallowed air, so that's what happens. I'm so pumped. There, UFC Baku. We'll talk about that a little bit if you have anything left on it. Of course, the massive John Jones news. We'll get into it, but I'm pumped, man. Ilia Topuria versus Charles Oliveira for the vacant lightweight championship. Come on, let's go. Doesn't get much better than that.
No, I'm really excited. I think that I'm not a huge fan of Ilia moving up, personally. At least I wasn't originally, but I am really excited to see him fight Charles. I think it's going to be really fun. And honestly, like, I think people are really counting out Charles Oliveira here. This picture, I cannot get this out of my head. What's up, Duke? Thanks for joining us. I can't get this picture out of my head of Ilia Topuria standing next to UFC bantamweight Raul Rosas Jr. and looking small.
Yeah.
And then you have another picture of Raul standing next to Charles, and Charles is towering over him. Like, I just don't see Ilia being a lightweight in my head. And so maybe he's going to surprise me. But I think I would not be shocked if Ilia loses to Charles this weekend if his next fight is at 145.
I totally agree. That's the biggest mystery of this fight, at least for me. I'm going into this fight. It's Charles Oliveira is being totally underrated going to this. So let me start with there. He's being viciously underrated on where we have him ranked in our heads. Because, guys, if Charles wins this fight, Charles goes down in this Mount Rushmore of lightweight. Like, I feel like some of us don't think of him that way. But if he recaptures the championship and kind of, his run, I always think that 1-year run when he did, I believe it was Poirier, Gaethje, and Chandler. Yeah, it was Chandler. And just like how he won, it was knocked out, knockouts and submissions. It was a great run. Charles is the man for sure. I do think Ilia is I'm going to try to say this the right way. The more, I wouldn't say all-around fighter, L. I think he can finish fighters a better way. Him hitting the chin of Volk and Max Holloway has just been, it's insane. It's kind of legendary almost. So I think if he gets there, he'll get there. But I agree with you, L. Like, I don't know. We've never seen him at 155. Like, you ready for this one? I know he's not going to like this. And I saw him on Ariel. He was so happy on the weight class. Of course, we would all be happy to gain more weight. You know what I mean? We're all happier for sure. But the one thing I will say, I thought he wasn't even the biggest featherweight. I thought Max was a bigger featherweight than him. I saw some of the featherweight fights. He wasn't the most. You can see guys in some divisions. You're like, Joe Alvarez is a lightweight. That guy's 7'4". Like, that's a lightweight. Like, you can foresee guys moving up. Even we said this about Chase Hooper early in the career. It's like that guy will move up in weight sooner or later.
Islam, another example. I'm not surprised to see him going up to 170 right now. We know this cut has been difficult for him for several fights. And to me, with Ilia, he has this very like fast track attitude. Like, he's like, oh, I'm going to retire super young as a double champ. And like, more power to him if he can accomplish that. But I don't believe the whole story that he can't make 145. I think he wants to become double champ. and retire on top as fast as possible is kind of what I get from just the way he talks about his own legacy. And so I don't think he needs to be at lightweight. And I think the rest of the lightweight division needs to be at lightweight.
Real quick, when you say that, do you think Ilya could be done in 2 or 3 fights like that soon? Or
the way he talks about it, honestly, yeah. Like
wow.
the way he talks about himself, like I can't remember exactly what he said. But I remember him being like, yeah, like I want to retire young, like I want to go out and play, like I'm here for a long time, not a good time type of attitude. I'm not exactly what he said, but just that kind of air about him, you know.
Okay.
And so I could see him maybe, you know, if he does win 2 belts, I could see him being done really soon. And if he doesn't win this belt, I definitely think he goes back down to 145. I don't think we see him at lightweight a second time if he loses this fight to Charles.
I agree on that. Before we get more into this and a little bit of UFC Baku, guys, shout out to everyone. By the way, we're on Twitter today. We're also on Kick. But anyone here on the Fight Bananas official YouTube channel, we appreciate it. Make sure if you like this stream, very much appreciate it. If you haven't subbed the channel, sub the channel. I've sent out a ton of these UFC cards this week, around 25 to 30 over the last 2-3 days. Still got some postage stamps left. So if you guys haven't got one of these UFC cards, we mail them to your house absolutely for free. All you have to do is sub the channel and DM us your mailing address, and we'll get that to you. We can't talk about it. We don't know. We're moving on. Okay, we can't answer that question. We're sworn. We can't do it. I don't know, dude. I'm sorry. Sorry. We're moving on. I think I handled that right now. Did I?
Sure.
Oh gosh.
I wish we knew. All right.
Back to, real quick, we could talk about Ilya and Charles the whole day. And also, guys, we have Pantoja in the flyweight championship match against Kai France. Our guy Joshua Van is fighting Roy Val. There's a lot of great fights. Moicano's fighting, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Fighting Beneil Dariush.
Yeah. So there's a lot to get to. But real quick on UFC Baku, I thought it was so funny how life works. We made a post this at the Thursday or Friday, I forgot. And I was like, we're halfway through June. I don't know if you guys have kids at home. We are dead in the summer. I got the kids with me all day, every day. And I just felt like, man, the year is flying by and it happens. I'm like, what's been the fight of the year? Like, I felt like we haven't had that fight yet, you know, and we made a post and people threw out Volk and Diego. It was a good fight, fun fight, main event, great. And Merab and Umar was a good fight, but it wasn't the fight of the year. And guys, I think we got it. I think the Mato fight was that good of a fight. To me, that's been the best fight of the year.
No, I 100% agree. Like, yes, and a lot of these, in my opinion, a lot of these fights of the year are oftentimes these kind of lower on the card prelim fights, like Oralbai versus Rumbetsky was a fight of the year to me.
Great fight, Great fight.
Oh, yeah. Sajikov has now been in 2 of my fights of the year. Sajikov fought Slava Claus a couple years ago to a draw. Fantastic fight. And now here he is again, duking it out with Nicholas Mota for, definitely my fight of the year.
Yeah, I loved it. And we needed it. I felt like sometimes you just need that to pop, and it did. Also, of course, co-main event. I don't do this often. I gave you my lock. Bet and Bananas has been on every Wednesday night. We're back Wednesday night as well, 9 p.m. on the East Coast. Make sure you watch the show. I don't do it often now. I said my lock of the year was Rafael Fiziev to defeat Ignacio. I just thought more than anything, and I know this is maybe dumb on my part, it was a desperate factor. I just can't see someone in their prime and as good as Rafael Fiziev is to lose 4 fights in a row. You just can't do it. And maybe if they fight again in the future, maybe I'll pick Ignacio. But I just thought in that moment at home, like Fiziev was, he was not losing my fight. And good win for him. He's in the top 10 UFC lightweight division.
Have you seen the rankings today?
I did. Grant Dawson posted it.
So Grant made a hilarious post because this is the most random thing ever. So yesterday we so yesterday we before Saturday, Fiziev and Bahamondes have not yet fought. The UFC rankings makers have decided that if Grant Dawson is not as good as Benoit Saint-Denis. After Saturday, Fiziev beats a unranked lightweight, and the rankings guys decide, you know what? Grant Dawson is better than Benoit Saint-Denis. So, hey, we'll take number 13 anytime, but that was so random.
I know. Maybe they saw Fiziev, who fought Gamrot, and then Gamrot fought this guy, and he trains with Grant. And they're like, dude, if Fiziev won, that means Grant's better. I don't know. Hell, I don't know. But hey, he's above him. That's all that matters to me.
So,
Let's do a couple of these comments real quick. The thing that worries me is if Ilya wins, he might slow the division. With Charles, at least, we can say he can be more active. Dude, I completely agree with that. Ilya doesn't fight often. And if he is a champion, and especially kind of like a two-weight class champion, yeah, like you can definitely put 2025 to bed. Like he would not fight the rest of this year. Charles fights in December against Poirier or Patty or whoever, he'll fight.
Man retired, Dave.
No, I'm sorry. You're right. L, I apologize. You're right.
Just one more. Let's
Gamrot. How about Charles versus Gamrot? New person. I love it.
Give poor Gamrot a title shot.
Ilya wants Patty, Madrid 80,000, crowd 20,000 over in England, all-time record. Yeah, if Ilya wins, that's probably the fight. L.
Are they doing Patty and Gaethje though? Like, is that happening?
Gaethje will not fight Patty Pimblett.
No, it won't happen. That's fair. I honestly, I kind of get it. I'm very torn about this. I'm very upset. I'm annoyed with the top of this division right now because these top 6 guys will not fight outside of the top 6. Yeah. And a lot of them are like, no, I get a title shot next. And it's like, you don't though. Like Gaethje, you don't. I'm sorry. And it's like, and there is so much talent in this division, which was another reason I wasn't excited to see Ilya go up. Because I feel like this division doesn't need another contender. Like if you look at the bottom of the top 15, there are plenty of contenders at lightweight, and there are plenty of contenders outside of the rankings. There are phenomenal fighters, Esteban Rabovic, Nasrat Haqparast. Like, we don't need it. We don't need it. I'm happy to see Joel Alvarez go up to welterweight. We don't need that either. Like there's so many people in this division.
With that being said, the devil's advocate, I will say Gaethje probably should fight for the championship. He should. Like,
off what?
One, there's a little bit of he's been in that bubble for the last 3-4 years, that top 5 bubble. He's got before the loss to Max and everything, and I know, and L, you know this, and I know you know this. There's a lot of stuff that happens behind the scenes.
You know that I know.
Yeah, like I bet you Gaethje did not want to probably take that fight against Max Holloway at UFC 300. It was probably only bad that could happen. And they probably like, hey, we need this fight and take this. We'll take care of you. And then after that, he got to win versus Fiziev, who wins. Like,
who's not in the top 5. You want to know the last time? You want to know the last time Gaethje got a win over somebody that is actively in the top 5?
Dustin Poirier.
Besides Dustin. Before Dustin?
A guy who
nobody. So he has one win over somebody in the top 5 that's like still in the top 5 in over 5 years. I just think the majority of his fights recently have not been at the top of the division. Like Fiziev is not at the top of the division. I like him.
Gaethje's whole career has been cherry picking and only matchup against strikers. If Gamrot got in the fight 3 months ago, Gaethje will be top 5 now. Wow. I didn't know this was a thing about Gaethje. I thought everyone loved Justin Gaethje.
I like Justin Gaethje. He's a super fun fighter, but I agree. He had a close fight with Fiziev, who fought on 4 days' notice and looked like a 45er. How does that get him a title shot? Like, look at who is ranked right now, and the only guy he's beaten in that entire top 5 recently is Dustin Poirier. Rafael Fiziev is ranked 10th. Okay. I like the guy, but Rafael Fiziev is not getting into the top 5 in this division.
So just real quick, Al, dude, I have no ties to Justin Gaethje. There's 9 guys in the lightweight division that I could actually, I think, call friends that I like and that are my favorite. So I do not like that I'm arguing on Justin Gaethje's side. I really don't. But if I could just say, if there's he's been around for so long and has so many great fights and great matchups and great things. It's almost like a little bit of a legacy title fight that he gets. And I don't want to use the word deserve. You don't think Gaethje should get one more on his sword? No?
I mean, yeah, but not a title shot. He doesn't deserve it right now. There's way more deserving people, and he has not been willing to fight the up-and-comers. I do not consider Rafael Fiziev an up-and-comer.
No. You got to give him credit for fighting Fiziev.
No. He is stylistically one of the best matchups for Gaethje in that entire division. But
he's still a young and up-and-comer, especially the first time they fought, young and up-and-comer. It was a great matchup for him. I'm not saying it wasn't.
Ideal matchup for him.
Sure. No, I agree.
I'm sorry. I think Gamrot he won't fight Gamrot. He won't fight
Arman.
He won't fight Arman. He won't fight Grant. He won't fight Moicano. I just don't think he is that deserving of a title shot right now. And guys that are my friends, I love Dustin Poirier. Dustin Poirier doesn't deserve a title shot right now. And that's why they're giving him this legacy fight with Max Holloway, because that's the fight everybody wants to see anyway.
Right.
And I feel like you cannot possibly pass over Arman to give Justin Gaethje a title shot. How do you do that? That's like
guys, why they're passing him up.
Austin Movsar getting a title shot before him.
Oh, don't I'm 1,000,000% agreeing on that. I think our show Fight Bananas has been the number one support of pushing of Movsar defending should get in a title shot. But real quick, why Arman's not fighting for the championship.
I mean,
we don't have to say it on air.
He's the backup for this fight. And I do think he'll get the next shot. I understand why he's not in this title fight, but I do think he'll get the next shot.
So if Ilia Topuria wins, you think it'll be Ilia versus Arman next?
Okay,
over
so
Patty.
Let's go back to rankings.
Over Patty Pimblett.
Number 8. You remember how much crap you talked about Khalil Roundtree getting a title shot?
But because there was no story there.
There's no earning here. This is insanity. This is 205 is one thing. 205 when Pantoja fights the number 9th ranked guy because he's already beat 1 through 8. That's one thing.
Yeah.
When there's this much talent in the division, you do not go to number 8 to get a title shot.
But okay, guys, everyone's missed the guys right here. He doesn't deserve the title shot. But if you don't think TKO, the UFC, and Dana White is not going to match up Patty Pimblett versus Ilia for the championship when they're both hot, guys,
they can't do it immediately after this. They have to give Patty at least one. Maybe Hooker. Maybe they do Patty and Hooker, and if he beats Hooker, then they could do it. I just don't think – I don't see how they could do that right now. But I will say this. Max Holloway, not getting a title shot anytime soon, obviously. Unless if Max beats Dustin, maybe he makes more sense than Patty.
Him versus Ilia at 155?
Yeah, 155 for their second fight rematch at 155. There's a storyline there. And it's a fighter fans could get behind getting a title shot. Doesn't matter because Dustin's going to beat Max Holloway and ride off into the sunset for the greatest retirement story in history. But
totally agree with that, El. Real quick, guys, relax, okay? I'm not saying this is what I would do if I was in charge. Grant Dawson would be fighting for the championship this weekend, okay? I'm biased on that, but Arman and Gamrot to me are more deserving than Gaethje, Patty, and all these guys. If I was in charge, I'm not saying if I was in charge, I'm saying what is literally going to happen. I
don't think they'll do that. I don't think they'll do that off number
Dana
8.
White and TKO. John Jones is gone.
I could see if he loses, and I'm totally off base and he decides to stay at lightweight forever.
Ilia Patty for a number 1 contendership.
Ilia Patty in the UK or Spain would be huge. Anywhere in the Europe. Anywhere. I agree that that's a huge fight. And it was
I think they saved that for a title.
Proud. But there's some things you just can't do. And number 8, when has there ever been a number 8 ranked guy fighting for a title at lightweight?
No, I agree. I agree. But
never. And Patty is a star.
Yeah.
But I almost think he's somehow a little bit less of a star than when he first came on the scene. Like,
no, I think he's more legitimate. I think he's growing on people that he's a legitimate title contender. I don't think he's ever going to win the championship, just my 2 cents, but I think he's a title contender, and I think people kind of are understanding of that. I do agree. What you said, you're so spot on. The lightweight division's been almost the star light division for 10, 15 years, of Conor and Habib to Poirier to Islam. I totally agree.
Chandler was ranked higher. If Chandler was still like ranked higher, shoot, I think my stream is going to kick out. It's telling me to force quit Google Chrome. I'm going to make this point really quick and then try and hop back in.
Okay.
If Chandler was still ranked higher, I think it would make more sense. But it's like you at least have to have, even the guys who have like easier title paths like Sean O'Malley, they still have to have their Piotr Jan.
Yeah.
Michael Chandler isn't a Piotr Jan. He has to have one more. Has to. Okay, I'm going to stop real quick. Hang on 1 second.
Sounds good. All right. L. Dawson with a great point there. I like it. Great point. All right. Stuck with me now, guys. That's it. Now, L. Dawson will be back in a second. Guys, Francis Marshall is at 130. Gillian Robertson at 2. Grant Dawson, 220. Steve Garcia, 245. I guess we'll finish here. Then we can move to Baku real quick, and then we'll move into Moicano and Dariush and really break down UFC 317 this weekend. My only point, and I wouldn't do this. I think Arman, Gamrot, these guys deserve that shot quicker, even if Gaethje for sure. But the UFC, they just lost their Jones and Aspinall fight. You know what I mean? They just lost. I know they got Kayla and Amanda kind of handed to them, but they are in need of big fights, especially going into 2026 when Netflix and Amazon and Apple and all this stuff happens. They will need Ilya versus Patty in the spring of 2026. It would be a ginormous fight. It would be the biggest fight the lightweight division can make right now. I think that's pretty fair to say. I think it's the biggest fight they can make in the lightweight division. I wouldn't do it, but I think it's big. It's big. All right, L, I think we put a bow on Ilya and Patty in the future. Let's get back. I don't want to put you on the spot if you don't want to answer this right now. Who do you have winning, Charles or Ilya, by the way? Is it me? I got to see it. I got to see Ilya fight at 155, but I'm leaning Ilya.
I agree with you. I feel like I need to see it too, but I'm my gut is leaning Charles.
Wow. Okay.
Because I feel like he's being counted out too much. Maybe it's the size, but I don't know. I got a feeling. That maybe Ilya doesn't have bigger power. You know how sometimes these guys that move up because they are killing themselves to make weight, they have bigger power in the next weight class up? Because I don't believe that Ilya is killing himself to make weight. I don't think he's going to have bigger power. I think it's going to be the same or less compared to the lightweights because they're used to heavier hitters because they're bigger,
Yeah.
So, and maybe they can take a bigger shot. So I'm like 51% Charles right now, but this is like Khamzat and DDP for me. I just need to see it because I think anything can happen in this fight.
Totally agree. And the betting odds to me is wild. Sean Serlin just made that point. Great point. By the way, Sean, I just sent your cards out to your address. You should be receiving them any day now. Yeah, I totally, I don't understand how Ilya Topuria is a minus 500 against any lightweight, any top 15 lightweight in the world right now. You just have to see it. And again, what is Charles Oliveira? Look at his resume. I love looking this up. We go to Tapology all the time. Look at Charles Oliveira's resume on Tapology. He's beat some of the best guys in the division, lost close fights to some of the other ones. Like, this is Charles Oliveira. Like, why are we just overlooking him of a one? No, if Volkanovski moved up to fight Ilya, against Charles, he wouldn't be a minus 500. Most are no one. So we're that high. And I know Ilya deserves it because he went through the division. I get it, but that's a big jump. Big jump.
There's no way. Would Ilya be the favorite against Islam? No way, right? Like, not a chance.
0%.
So it's like, why is it such a huge gap? Like, if you want to make him the favorite, that's fair.
Right.
He beat the number 2 pound for pound fighter in the world at the time. Like,
yeah.
So that's absolutely fair. But like maybe minus 125, maybe minus 175. Like, I'm so shocked to see one of the best it's counted out like this.
I can't wait to ask Rafael Esparza Wednesday night around 9 p.m. on this very YouTube channel, guys. Bet and Bananas. I will ask him about why Ilya's that big of a bet favorite. Before we break down more of UFC 317, guys, Jon Jones walked away, called Dana White a couple days ago, retired. UFC Baku, the press conference is that they announced it. Pretty wild. El, I would love, what was your first take when you saw Fight Bananas posted it and you're like, oh, this is the first time he's seen it because you saw it on Fight Bananas official on Instagram and you're like, oh, wow, Jon Jones is gone. What was your first 2 cents? What was your first take?
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Like I knew this fight was never going to happen with Tom.
You called it.
And I'm not shocked. We were kind of having this conversation on Sunday, and I can't remember who in the comment section was like, man, if he had just beat Stipe and went, I've done enough and retired. Because I'm paying super close attention to to his charges that he's dealing with right now, which, by the way, there's new information on that too. We can get into it. It just came out like an hour ago.
Yeah. Please.
But I feel like if he had just retired when he beat Stipe, we probably wouldn't even care this much about these charges right now. We'd probably talk about it for a couple days and then it'd go away. But now it's like, oh, retiring, and is this? You know what I'm saying? Like, it just, I'm honestly, I wonder if the UFC maybe pushed this a little bit because it looks ridiculous for the interim belt holder to continuously defend his belt while you get to hold your belt. Like, that's not how this works,
I know, but if I could say, and this is to me not a Jon Jones thing, this is a UFC thing, and we are very pro UFC. I think you are, I am, I think we are as a company for sure, right? They had to put Jon Jones came out. He was on the Fanatics this weekend. By the way, I think I'm going to that. That looks so much fun. All the UFC, WWE, all the sport people in New York at Fanatics. I think I'm going to try to go next year, by the way, El. Real quick, my point. Dana White and the UFC should have said, hey, it's April 1st. We kind of went back and forth a little bit. Are you 100% doing this or not? We're signing a contract. Let's do a date. It should have been International Fight Week, by the way. It's the biggest fight, the biggest week. Aspinall can't sit on forever. John, we are doing this or we're not. If not, we're going to strip you, and we're probably going to give you Aspinall and Cyril Gane in International Fight Week for the championship. But we have to move. They dragged this along so long, and now it's June 25th, and it's like, now it happened? Like, it just... I know people like to shit on Jon Jones, and a lot of it is worthy, but I'm telling you, I think the UFC did not play it right. That's just my 2 cents.
No, they shouldn't have let him sit on this long.
Yeah.
And it's like, we're still talking about Jon Jones. There's new stuff, Javi. There's new stuff. By the way, guys, it's a misdemeanor. So I don't know. I doubt he'll do prison time. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe there are prison sentences in New Mexico for misdemeanors. But.
And real quick on this, El, and I think we're maybe similar on this, and I'm happy on this way. I can definitely take the art away from the artist. Like, I'm fine with guys. If you don't like what Taylor Swift does, but you like her songs, cool. Like, I'm fine with that. Jon Jones is that's my analogy. Taylor Swift, first thing came to my head. That's my life, guys. I got kids. My eyes have told me Jon Jones is the greatest UFC fighter ever to live. I will debate that to anyone in the world. I know he got popped. I know he's done a lot of horrible things outside the octagon. I think Jon Jones is the greatest I ever seen, and I can take the art away from the artist and be like, man, the greatest I ever seen is not doing it anymore.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I have respect for him as a fighter, and I always will. I just think that maybe if he had retired earlier, we probably wouldn't care that much about what's going on in New Mexico right now, which if you guys would like to go check out, I believe it's the Albuquerque Journal has acquired the body cam footage from the incident where he fled the scene of a crash, allegedly fled the scene of a crash, and his passenger was a lady with no pants on. So that's fun. But as of right now, the body cam footage, I did watch it. She called him on the phone, and it appears that he verbally threatened the police officer that he was talking to on the phone and sounded very intoxicated. So
John Jones being in the car with a lady with no pants on is called a Tuesday night for John Jones. But guys,
this is the most John Jones story ever.
I know, the most John Jones story ever. But we're going to get into a good story. How about a good fighter? How about a good guy? 8-3, 26 years young with great hair. I saw him in the green room doing a little hair thing. Absolutely stud of a person. And as a fighter, let's welcome back the Fire, Francis Marshall, to the show. What's up, Francis?
How are you?
Good, brother. How are you, man?
Good.
Okay.
Well,
What now? His hair is good. Good man. Good looking hair. What are you talking Wow.
I didn't get a good comb over after training today.
about? How was training today, Francis? Did you tap Dustin Poirier in 9 seconds? Did you make Dakota Bush look like an amateur? How was training today?
None of the above.
Okay.
I got abused for 4 rounds by Elle's husband.
Yeah. That's called a Tuesday night in my life, so I get that.
Francis stole my training partner yesterday, so Grant was just getting one back for me. So
Wow. Well,
Big even.
unbelievable. Well, dude, it's always good to have you back on the show. It's always good to talk to you. To me, I would assume it's always great to have fight news. Your kind of poster got announced last week. Austin Bashi, August 2nd, UFC Apex, UFC Vegas 108. How much did you love the fight, the matchup, the news, everything above?
I liked it all. The news is great, good. It's like not too long of a camp, only 7 weeks. I found out, so I don't really need the whole 8 to 10 weeks to kind of get in shape or get the camp going. I kind of try to stay in shape the whole time, like even out of camp, stay pretty close in range on diet. It's just now it's just dialing it in, getting like a specific program for a specific opponent, and yeah, it's great. I think 7 weeks is gonna be perfect, and I'm excited, very happy.
Else?
yeah, I mean, just talk about. Hey, I feel like you're kind of the guy they give all these debut or new fighters to. Is how it seems. Like, do you like being that guy? You fought the tough winner in a fight we know you won. It was he even came out and thought you said he thought you won the fight afterwards. Like, how do you feel about getting another young prospect?
I kind of just, it's like the position I'm in now. I feel like it's just kind of my role, I guess. It's going to be, I fought Gomez. He only had 1 fight before me. Then I fought Isaac, was his debut. Then I fought Bazooka, which he had a couple. But then it was Myron, which was his kind of UFC debut after the Ultimate Fighter. And now it's Bashi, who's only had 1 fight before me in the UFC. So I guess it's kind of just my role right now until I could continuously beat these guys and, show the UFC, hey, like, up my challenge. I'm ready for a more experienced guy, a higher level guy to compete against and test myself against. So, I mean, to me, it doesn't matter. It's just whoever they put in front of me, I'm just going to do my best to get a win that night and do whatever it takes. So it doesn't matter the opponent. It just give me the date and I'll go out there and fight.
Last question on this, Francis. I would assume you're probably tired of talking about that fight and the judging of that fight. But I have one little last thing, and my dumb analogy, how I think. When I was a teenager, I had bad Taco Bell one day, and I didn't eat Taco Bell for a year straight. I had a bad experience, went away for a year. It's my favorite thing now, but I went away from it. It was a horrible judging decision. We all know it. We don't have to talk about it again. A horrible judging decision. Is there something in the back of your head like, damn it, I don't want to go to the judges? Or is it just a one thing that, and sometimes you, of course, can't control it. You're fighting another man who wants to do the same thing to you. I totally get it. But is it in your head a little bit, 1%? We're all human. Is it there like damn, I don't want to get this back to the judges. They did me wrong last time.
Yeah, a little bit. It's like I don't want to leave it to them or I want to make it definitive enough to where, you can't really mess it up. Like there's no wiggle room to get it wrong. I mean, I've had some, I don't want to say bad luck with judges, but maybe it's just the way they see my fights doesn't line up with them. Like Gomez was a tough decision. Like that wasn't, I'm not saying it was a robbery. It was a close fight. Some people thought I won. Some people thought I lost. And then going to the Bazooka fight after that was a split decision loss, which I was honestly kind of surprised of. I thought that should have been a unanimous. And then the last fight was another split decision loss, which is like, it's close. Maybe I got to do more. Maybe I got to show them more, be more active. So to me, it's just, always trying not to go to the judges. Would finish is definitely best, but I think just making it more definitive to where there's less wiggle room where they could be like, I think the other guy won that round. I think it needs to be definitive. They look at it, they say, okay, there's no way that guy could have won the round. He definitely won the round. So that's my goal.
And I mean, on that same note, a guy like Bashi, you kind of know what to expect from him, right? Like he usually comes out. Obviously, he's had one UFC fight, but in his fights before the UFC too, he comes out. He does generally the same thing. Do you like that style? Do you feel like there's less maybe that you have to prepare for, knowing that he is probably going to try to wrestle you for 3 rounds straight?
Yeah, like I don't mind it. I feel like everyone's got their own like niche kind of for the most part, which what they're best at. You kind of know what he's gonna do, but at the same time, I don't want to overly focus on like, okay, wrestle defense, and then I'm not being offensive and I'm just waiting for him to do something and just defend and counter, because I don't think that's gonna be effective enough to win a fight. And I don't want to get so worried about just wrestling defense where, okay, I'm so worried about his wrestling defense, and now he clips me with a good punch or a good high kick and drops me and hurts me or finishes me like that. So it's kind of definitely focus on like what he's going to do, but also I need to be more offensive and, stay ready for whatever he's going to throw, because he throws high kicks, he throws good hands, he kind of mixes it in a little bit, but definitely wrestling dominant.
I love that you said that. Me and El have been I've been on this forever. It's like, if I'm going out on a sword, I want to do me. Like, I want to do the best I could do. Like, I don't want to just do wrestling defense for 15 minutes. How about Bashi going backwards off of my straight rights and crosses and stuff? So I love that you said that. We have a great question in the comments. Javier wants to know, who do you have in the main event of UFC 317? Do you have Charles Oliveira or Ilia Topuria winning the vacant championship, soon to lose it to Grant Dawson within the next 10 months?
I think Ilya takes it.
Okay.
By finish. Round 2.
That's what people are saying. That's what people are saying.
I wouldn't be shocked. I just can't believe how discounted Charles is. Like, do you think the odds should be like they are? Like,
I don't think he should be a minus 450 favorite.
Right. That's
it's
crazy.
minus 500, Francis, now. People keep on betting on Ilya. It's nuts.
Yeah, no, the money's not even to bet him. You got to bet. If you want to make money, bet Charles and hope he wins.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, but you're a UFC fighter, Francis. We're not betting on fights, all right, my man? We're not going.
I don't gamble. I'm out of it.
All right, good for you, man. Good. Pick up other bad habits. Don't gamble, all right,
Like Zins.
Are you a Zin guy?
No.
Oh. Okay.
Just all the fighters are.
We should have had you over. Can you the next card break at the Dawson's house, can we invite you, Francis? Would you come through?
I would have came last time, but I went home for the weekend.
Yeah, I invited him. But
it was Father's Day weekend, so I had to go home and see my dad.
Nice, man. Dude, Francis, you're too good of a guy to be a fighter, man. What are you doing? What are you doing whipping other people's ass, dude? You're too good of a dude.
Nah, it's better than working a 9 to 5.
It is. Hey,
you don't get to see the behind the scenes Francis, Dave.
Oh, okay. He's one of those guys.
Savage.
I love it. Oh my goodness. Talking about 9 to 5. Have you signed? Have you did a re-up deal with the UFC? Or are we still on the first one?
I'm on my second contract now. So the Myron was the first fight of my second contract.
Nice. Congratulations on that, brother.
Thank you.
Else?
4 fights.
4 fights.
Well, we were kind of cracking up about the random ranking change this morning for Grant, but will newly ranked number 13 lightweight Grant Dawson be in Francis' corner? I don't know if anybody knows yet, to be honest.
I don't know if it depends, I guess, when Grant's fighting, when he gets a fight. If he's fighting the week after me or 2 weeks after me, I'm not gonna ask him to be in my corner. He has to focus on his own fight, and his fights and career comes before mine. But if he has nothing going on, I'll definitely ask him.
There is breaking news. Grant Dawson will fight before the year of 2028. It will happen. That's breaking news. We can say that here on Fight Bananas, all right?
Did you say 2028?
Yeah.
I think you're going to be out of money by then.
It is a nice house. You guys do have a nice place.
Bobby is all about the questions in the comments for Francis, so let's throw him over here.
Yeah, give it to him.
Second fight? What? Tell Francis I asked to tell him about himself so I can learn. What are you about, Francis?
What are you about?
What am I about?
What are you about, man?
Like my hobbies?
Sure. Yeah. Do you have hobbies?
I don't have hobbies. I'm trying to, like, I play video games sometimes when I have time, but like I was thinking about it the other day. I'm trying to pick up a hobby, maybe like join a tennis club or like racquetball or something like that. Not racket. What's it called? Racquetball? The tennis
pickleball.
pickleball.
Pickleball is all the rage. You can play with my 74-year-old father. He has a club.
Does he? I love pickleball. Stay active, competitive.
Yeah. That's funny you said that. For my Father's Day, my wife got me. So our date thing during the day, we got a lot of kids, Francis. We don't have a lot of time, so we go play tennis. Stay active. We laugh. You know, something to do with the wife. Great thing. But we're getting older, so running on a tennis court 1v1 is a lot tough. So she got me pickleball racket and stuff. So we're gonna do pickleball next week.
Oh, pickleball is great. I played it with my girlfriend's grandparents like 2 years ago, and I really haven't played it.
The best guy ever.
Trying to get into it. You got to go indoors though. It's too hot outside.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's fair. Especially right
I feel
now.
like I try to get a little bit of that sun. You know, the vitamin C, vitamin D.
It kills you though. Only an hour.
It's very true. It's very true.
This was the best comment of the day from SG. Says Grant doesn't need fights. He just climbed the rankings drinking non-diet Cokes.
That is actually a great point. That's actually a great point. SG, dude, send me your address. We'll send you a card. Comment of the day. Great job, SG.
And then
Great
Jake
job.
said, isn't pickleball just tennis for fat people? No, it's tennis for old people.
Old people. Yeah.
Good for if you can't make it across the tennis court. It's
There
great.
you go. There you go.
1v1, it's hard in tennis. You need a partner. You need a partner.
No, that's too much running.
All right, real quick, another UFC question. You know, we got a UFC stud on the show. We're going all in a pickleball. I'm okay with it, but another one. Tell me about the featherweight division. Volkanovski defeated Diego Lopez in a really good fight. Who should be next? I know there's a teammate of yours who's undefeated. He's never lost in the featherweight division. I think he's 8 or 9-0 in the UFC. Does Mozart finally get the shot next, Francis? What are they doing?
I mean, I think if he beats Pico, which I think
Yeah.
he will, he's kind of undeniable at that point. I think he already should have had the title shot.
Yeah.
But after this Pico fight, I think it got confirmed.
It is.
So, yeah.
I think after that he beats Pico, I think he's got to get a title shot. I don't think Volk should fight before. Like I don't think he should fight someone before Mozart. I think that should be his next fight. Granted, Mozart wins, beats Pico, then he fights him. I've heard talks of him fighting Yair, which I don't really think makes a ton of sense. I think maybe Yair needs to win like a number one contender before that. But that's just my personal opinion. I think Mozart deserves the title shot. Never lost.
Yeah.
Defeated. You can't really. It's hard to keep denying the guy.
I totally agree. I think there's a Diego Lopez, Gene Silva, and Yair Rodriguez triangle. Like those guys need to fight each other one time or something of that nature.
Right.
Out of those three, a new number one contender will emerge. And then if, like you said, if Mozart defeats Pico, Mozart goes to that spot. My question though, and I thought about this and now we never talked about it. I would love both your takes. If Pico defeats Mozart in his UFC debut, does he go right to Volkanovski next? Does he skip everyone?
I don't think.
I don't know. What do you think?
It's a major question, right? Like it's not going to happen. We're Team Mozart over here, but I'm just throwing out a hypothetical.
Hypothetically, I think if Pico wins, he should fight like Diego or
Okay.
Silva.
Yair.
Yeah, or Yair. Even Yair's coming.
Silva, yeah.
Gene Silva's a good one. Dude, I'm an Aljamain Sterling guy. I'm sorry. I know there's not a lot of them out there in the world. There's 9 of us. I like Aljo. I think Aljo gets in this mix as well. He barely lost to Mozart. That was a great fight.
Yeah, but I think if Pico beats Mozart, there's no point to make him fight
good point.
that Mozart already beat.
Yeah, good point. Wow.
Also, have you guys seen the picture of Aaron Pico?
Yeah.
It's been
Yeah,
circulating on the internet. Like,
I thought first I thought it was Michael Chandler. Like, oh,
he looks massive.
yeah.
I thought Mofsar was the most shredded guy at featherweight. Honestly, it might be Pico. Pico might be more shredded than Mofsar. But he's gonna lose.
Can I give you both a hot take real quick? A hot take.
Sure.
I think sometimes Michael Chandler and Aaron Pico, maybe they should get off the dumbbells just a little bit and maybe work on their grappling game a little bit, maybe work on a jab. Like, I don't think, and tell me if I'm wrong, I think you should be built for sure. But I don't think mixed martial artists should be the most cut guys ever. To me, they're lacking in a jab or, an ankle lock. I don't know. Just throwing it out there. Is that a hot take? Francis, where am I at on this?
Maybe. I think it depends on the person. I think some people thrive on the strength and conditioning routines. I think some people don't need them. Like a guy like Chandler, I think maybe he could lay off it a little bit. I know he lifts a ton of weights all the time. Looks great, looks phenomenal, and that's part of his, I guess, his MO or his motto, whatever. But I don't know. I think functional movements would be better.
Yeah, I totally do.
Francis is being way too nice to you, Dave. Sure, Michael Chandler, because we know Michael Chandler's not training, but Pico's a stud wrestler. Like, it's not like he's not training hard in the gym as well.
That's. Have you ever seen Pico throw a jab?
I've seen Pico fight in a long time.
It's a little loose. It's a little loopy. I need to. He doesn't have that Dustin Poirier jab, El.
I don't know who does.
That's a good point. Good point. Poirier, he walks away on the Last Dance and the Sunshine, stops Max Holloway. Is that what you foresee happening, UFC 318?
Yeah, I think so. I think Dustin walks away with it. He's 2-0 up on Max. It's super hard to beat somebody 3 times.
Sure.
But if you're going to do it, I think Dustin's one of the guys that can do it, especially his track record. He's never lost back-to-back. So
yeah, good point.
Still on that. He's always bouncing back really well. Just crisper. I think he hits harder. I think he could put Max away. If he doesn't, I think he wins a good decision again like he did in 2019.
I love it. Francis, you're an absolute stub. We love having you on. Is there anything you want to push, promote? You got a new sponsor lately? What's going on? And anything you want to push out there?
Not much in the sponsor world for me. Just probably the electrolytes I've been taking. The Dragon Salt. They've been hooking me up with some good electrolytes, and I love them. Drink them every morning before I walk, and super effective. Great. Better than Element. That's my hot take.
Ooh, there you go. Hot take.
Don't let the UFC hear that.
Awesome. Francis, always a pleasure, man. We appreciate you coming on. We cannot wait, guys. August 2nd, UFC Vegas 108. Watch Francis Marshall get his 9th professional win when he second round TKO Austin Bashi. I'm sorry. I already looked it up. I already saw the spoiler alert. There you go.
Prediction. That's the prediction.
It's not a prediction. It's a spoiler. All right, Francis. Have a great day, my man. Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
What a stud, dude. I like me some Francis Marshall.
He's still here, Dave. No, he's great. Francis is the man.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Man, I kind of want to let's stick on Aaron Pico for just a second. I didn't want to take away from Francis's interview, but okay. I'm feeling a little bit different about this fight than I was after seeing so many of the guys who are at the top in Bellator come over and just not look great. Yeah. And I like Aaron Pico. I don't even know if we can consider him at the top at Bellator. Like he got, and I know Movsar's no knockout artist, but getting knocked out by Adam Boric, like, I'm feeling a little bit differently about this, but stylistically, he should be like on paper, Aaron Pico should be a great matchup for Movsar, like a tough matchup. He's got great. He does have good boxing, Dave. He's got good boxing, but he also really does have world-class wrestling. So I'm interested to see. To see if he can put it together to even just tread water against a guy like Movsar. And we'll see,
Real quick, said I love me some Francis Marshall for the best Marshall. Hey, it's what I do, dude. I'm a lover, not a hater, Javu. Okay. Real quick. Can you tell me Aaron Pico's record? You're pretty good at the computer while doing this at the same time. I got so much on this side.
13-4.
13-4. Okay, so guys, I was being a little sarcastic on the hot take. You should definitely be in shape, and for sure. And I think I say this too the opposite way. If you're not in shape, I'm just gonna be honest. Jamal Hill, I'll call out someone that. You're a professional fighter, a professional athlete. You should be in better shape than Jamal Hill. So I want you in better shape. But when you're as ripped as an Aaron Pico or Michael Chandler, to me is you're going all out. You're putting so much energy, time, muscle. You're using so much of your energy doing that when if you're 13-4, maybe the jab isn't as crisp as other fighters because he is a really good wrestler. That's all I'm throwing out there. Maybe his submission game isn't as good as Gillian Robertson. Just throwing that out there.
No, I get what you're saying. And like, if we really dig into Aaron Pico's tapology here, like his best win is Henry Corrales, who is not bad if we're looking on the PFL Bellator.
Yeah, come on, El. You're being way too nice. You're
But-
being way too nice.
I know, but hear me out. So when we were talking about Patchy Mix coming over, we're looking at wins over Magomedov, Rafian Scott, Sergio Pettis, Patricio Pitbull, the best guys at Bellator. Pico doesn't really have anybody like that under his belt. And Mofsar is 19-0, and they have not done him a whole lot of favors for easy matchups in the UFC. You know, like Aljamain Sterling is a tough guy to beat.
Yeah, Aaron Pico comes into the UFC and they give him the undefeated #1 contender, Mozart. Like, that's what I'm telling you, Al. I have a horrible feeling if that went that way. I think they could do Pico beats Mozart and goes right into a title shot. I think they could do that.
Be shocked. I disagree with Francis. I think they don't want Yair to fight for a title because he doesn't deserve it off that win over Patricio Pitbull. They know it's not going to be a competitive fight. They definitely don't want to give Aljo a shot to the title because they've never wanted to give him that at any weight class. Right. And they clearly don't want Mofsar to fight for a title. I think they would love to have Aaron Pico as fresh blood in a title contention spot.
Yeah.
Just don't Javi. 100%. Patchy was supposed to be the real deal. And maybe he just had the worst night ever, but that's a pretty bad night.
No, there's some things you can't unsee. Patchy Mix's footwork, I can't unsee that. I can't unsee it. I'm sorry. I'm going to call bullshit on any Patchy Mix fight going forward. That was bad. It
was terrible.
Everyone gets, dude, Max just got lit up by Ilya. It happens. My favorite fighter, Grant Dawson, got hit one time off by Bobby Green. That shit happens. Everyone has lost. Islam got knocked out by Martins, right? Like, shit happens in fights. What I saw Patchy Mix do for 15 minutes was bad. Was
nothing. He did nothing.
Yeah. And that was awful.
I just
no. Flat-footed is different from not moving him. You can't be flat-foot and not move. SG, that's two different things.
He didn't throw. He didn't shoot.
Yeah.
And honestly, Grant and I kind of talked about this after the fight. We were like, how often does he offensively shoot? And not very. People shoot on him and get outsized. The only person he really offensively shot on was like Kyoji, who is
so small.
Way smaller than him. He's a flyweight. He's a true flyweight. And he's not even a big flyweight. Yeah. And it's like, that makes sense. Like Mario wasn't going to shoot on him and give him a chance to guillotine him or reverse him. I don't think they want this fight to happen. I think Aljo's a tough matchup.
Aljo by 1,000,000. Okay.
He has world-class grappling. Like, yes, he has awkward striking, but his grappling is world-class. And that's like, I think Pico is he was a great wrestler, but it's just like, we're not seeing him. I will say this. His actual best win, Aaron Pico's actual best win is Jeremy Kennedy. He lost that fight. But I don't know how Jeremy Kennedy does in the UFC, but he lost that fight because he blew out his shoulder after the first round, but he looked fantastic in that first round. And I rate Jeremy Kennedy significantly higher than Henry Corrales. But what happens if you take Jeremy Kennedy and stick him into the UFC? What happens?
He'd be 19th.
Probably.
You know? Guys, some breaking news. Grant Dawson didn't like my comment about not fighting to 2028. So we're skipping the show this week with Grant. He'll be back on next week. Maybe he'll give us a little UFC 317 recap. Maybe we'll do Banana Bliss. But I think we're going to do Banana Bliss just with UL. Is that kind of the word on the street?
I'm still down. Heck yeah.
Still down.
Grant has other engagements this afternoon.
Yeah, he goes, wait, Dave says I'm not fighting the 2028. I'm out of this show. He's really upset with me. I'll talk to him off air about it.
Can't afford it. Can't afford it.
Also, some other cool, fun breaking news. Guys, Saturday night, UFC 317 here at Fight Bananas on this YouTube channel, Kick, and on Twitter. We will be doing a live watch-along. The word on the street is, we might do it for like 4 or 5 hours. We might do it in some prelim fights. And we might have a super live guest here in the Van Auken studio. We'll see. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's all that.
Just kidding.
What'd you say?
Is it me? No, I'm kidding.
I'll fly you up right now, El Dawson. We'll fly you up. I think you're busy. I think.
I am.
To the UFC credit to all the Bellator guys claiming they couldn't hang with the top UFC, so they gave him a top, and this what happened. No, SG, it's a great point. And to be brutally honest, I like that they give them these guys. Like,
well,
someone like Austin Bashi is making his way through the ranks. These guys, most of them, Patchy and Aaron, they have 15, 18, 20 fights under the belt. They got to fight these top guys right away. We got to see where they're at. So got to see.
No, I agree. I think you have to have a litmus test for these guys. And I'll tell Grant. Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe. We'll see. Maybe I'll do the points. Okay.
Banana Blitz. But no, I digress. So I 100% agree. And they have contender series and tough for these young guys that they're going to sign that are going to work their ways up through the rankings, like a Bashi, like a Francis Marshall. They don't need to take those guys from Bellator. And usually they're not young when they're coming over. So yes, they absolutely should be thrown into the top 10 and see how they do. I do digress, Bobby. I do.
This is she digresses. I don't think the UFC and PFL are any different. I think PFL goes like Ghazi room in the top 5. No way. No.
You've already seen it.
Yeah, that's a bad comment. No.
How did Michael Chandler do? He was a champion at Bellator. How did Patricio Pitbull? He was the champion at Bellator. How's he gonna do? Like, I disagree. It's different.
You know who's a champion in the octagon and outside the octagon? This woman's a champion in all of our hearts. The one and only Gillian, the Savage Robertson.
So sweet.
What's up, G?
Always with the great intro.
Thank you.
It's just to cut off my thought and be like, "Oh, shut up! I have to."
G spends so much time in the green room on the show. Last week, I brought her on with Thad Jean. Like, I feel bad. She's in there and she's always so like nice and early. I love that. I'm always like that too. So I'm like, dude, I got to get her on quicker. So I saw her in there. I was like, this is
can't let her hang. Can't leave her.
Yeah. I should say this to you off air, G, but I'm gonna say it on air. It's what we do. I even got another good phone call. I got maybe a commentary thing for you and I both. A little commentary duo thing for us in the future.
Oh, look at that. I would love to do that.
Just this hand and Gillian Robertson hundreds. That's all I do. Just hand her hundreds,
Just doing business always. Dave just making moves.
It's a busy life. It's a crazy life.
Business. Dave will do it all.
Oh, no. I need more L Dawson in my life. We didn't talk all weekend long. I was like, dude, I miss my L Dawson all weekend. But you were busy, and we were watching fights. Anything else on UFC Baku, guys? Your guys' show was awesome Sunday morning. Kind of went through it all, but anything else on Baku, or can we go right into UFC 317?
I guess I don't know if you guys mentioned it. We didn't talk about it on Sunday, and I didn't realize it. I guess then, but the Sadikov and Nicholas Mota fight. Oh. They both got performance of the night and fight of the night. I don't think I've ever seen a loser get a performance of the night.
Good for him.
I loved it, G. I loved it. I was so happy. It was the best fight of the year so far. And you need 2 to tango. I was so happy when I heard that.
Oh yeah, that's absolutely crazy. 100K on top of her performance. And I'm like, the fights that night weren't the greatest. They both deserved that 100K. They held up the card.
I think that's a pretty mean comment, Sean Dog. What? Wow. Hey, you never know. That co-main event, what did you think of Fiziev and Ignacio? Like, I don't know if you heard so much during the week. I was pretty locked on Rafael Fiziev winning that fight. Did you feel that way going into it? Where were you before it and now after it?
Before it, I definitely was a lot more excited for it than I think what was produced. I don't think it was as high a pace fight as I expected. I expected more of a firefight, like a war between them. I think Fiziev kind of just looked like he was more of a veteran in there, where Bahamondes just didn't look like he was quite ready for that challenge. And it's almost looked like he was like big brothering him a little bit,
I agree. So, sometimes it's fighting the right person at the right time, and sometimes you're in different spots of your career. I just thought Ignacio, that was a lot for him soon. Like, his last fight was against Jalen Turner, who literally retired right in that moment. Like, I just felt that was a big jump to someone who's about to retire from the sport and to a top 10 guy in their prime. Like, that's 2 different levels to me. And that's what I saw going into it for sure.
Oh yeah, 100%. That's exactly what I saw. I'm like you said, it's just somebody who wasn't ready for that challenge
Right.
necessarily yet. Where I expected it, I expected him to be ready for it. I expected it to be like what we saw with like Gaethje, like Gaethje and Fiziev was an absolute firefight twice in a row. So I expected something similar to that. Bahamondes being a great striker, I expected them to be trading back and forth a little bit, but I feel like it was too big of a challenge for him a little bit too soon.
For sure. All right. The biggest question of the day, we'll get into some John Jones stuff too, especially some news broke in the last hour or so. The biggest question of our show, the thread, is Charles Oliveira versus Ilia Topuria. They're fighting for the vacant championship, probably the limelight division of the UFC. Ilia's this undefeated murderer at featherweight, moving up a big weight, moving up in weight, big challenge in front of him with Charles Oliveira. Just to be honest, I am leaning Ilia. L is leaning Charles Oliveira. You're the UFC fighter. You're the top 10 strawweight in the world. I would love your take, G.
I feel like I hear from most people that everybody like wants Charles to win, but thinks Ilia is going to. And I feel like I'm kind of in that same boat. I feel like Charles is the people's champ. I absolutely love him just as a fighter, as a person, everything, as a personality. So I would love to see him pull off the victory, but I think Ilia is just he stays in position so well. He's so crisp, so clean. I feel like he's gonna be able to pull out the victory still.
I like it. I like it. How about in the co-main event, flyweight championship on the line? We haven't really got into this, and I know Elle does. And when Elle comes back, we'll love to get her back in. Pantoja's been this dominate flyweight champion. He's got so many wins over. He's got one against Kayar France already in the tough house. He's beaten all these guys once and sometimes now twice. But Kayar France is in a different spot of his career. Like we said, I feel like he is in his prime. This is going to be a great matchup. To me, an underrated matchup of the weekend. I still got Pantoja. I think he's the best lightweight alive today, but would love your take.
I guess I'm not 100% sure on this. Do you know what school Kayar France is out of? I was just wondering if it's the same, like, that, I don't know, the boys who have been using Craig Jones over there,
Right.
Because they've been having a lot smarter approaches to fights lately.
Yeah.
So that I feel like would be a huge factor in it for me. I'm like, how they've been approaching grappling lately, I feel like is, I really attribute it to Craig. You see it with Volk, you saw it with JDM. I feel like those boys were really figuring something out in how they need to approach the game in the grappling field. So
Great point.
I don't know what school he's from, but I'm like, that'd be interesting to look at. But me being the grappler, I got to side with the grappler. I'm like, Pantoja's been so dominant, just top control consistently. I feel like we're going to see a lot of that.
I know he's training at City Kickboxing. I don't know that if he's working with Craig, but, and SG said the same thing, City Kickboxing.
He would have to, right? Like he's fighting for the championship against a grappler more.
Yeah.
Right. You would think that he would definitely be in that camp of making sure not to be grappled, because if this was a kickboxing match, I would actually lean Kayar France. If this was just a straight kickboxing for 5 rounds, I would lean against Kayar France. He's got pop in the hands. But I think Pantoja, kind of what you said last week, G, that I loved, like Pantoja is so great at it all and then mixing all of it together, striking into a grapple, into a takedown, to a submission attempt, back to a strike. Like Pantoja is just on a different level, I think, right now.
And he keeps the same pace. Like, he's kind of one of those guys that always looks a little tired, but it never really affects his pace. Like, he's always here the whole fight. Never, ever does he dip with his cardio,
Yeah. 2 more really good fights, G. Joshua Van, Brandon Royval. Joshua Van's been coming on the show almost every other month. We love his, just like, he's got the greatest, I don't know how to say, like, he's just so friendly. Like, he's got like this naive smile to him. Like, he doesn't even know how big of a fight this is. Like, he's just like, yeah, I'm taking it. I'm on this run. He's only 23, 24 years old. He's kind of like, yeah, he's just saying yes and just on this great run. I think I'm leaning Joshua Van. I'm not too sure. Maybe I'm not. I wouldn't be surprised either way. Wouldn't be surprised.
I guess I'm kind of in the same boat. I wouldn't be surprised either way. I would want to see Joshua Van pull it off just because, like you said, like he's just saying yes to things. And I love that. He's just like a go-getter. He's 23 years old, taking these huge opportunities. I would love to see him be able to pull it off. Royval's a huge task in front of him, but the way that he was able to, I can't remember, I'm sorry, I'm blanking on his opponent's name a couple weeks ago. Who he just
Opponent
fought.
from Royval or
No,
Van?
from Van.
Bruno Silva.
Bruno
Silva.
Silva. There. Yeah, how he handled Bruno Silva. Bruno Silva is also a vet, a dog.
Yeah.
He was able to drop him several times and still like handle that. I feel like he didn't like, a lot of times you see the younger guys that kind of, go for the finish too soon or like, yeah, exactly. So I'm like, he was able to control his emotions, handle those situations like a vet. So I don't see why he wouldn't be able to handle Royval the same.
Before talking about Benny and Moicano, you said a word there that this is the show. This is the show. So I'm coaching my 8-year-old in basketball. And when you call us as like older people, and I'm way older than both of you guys, but when you call a fighter or even me, they're like, Dave, you're a dog at work. Like you work so hard, you're a dog. It's like the greatest compliment ever. If you go, dude, Gillian Robertson inside the octagon is a dog. It's like the best compliment I can give you. It's better than saying you're talented or a champion, right? You can't call a kid a dog. Like, I guess it's very negative. I have one of those kids on my team. He's a dog. You know what I mean? He's absolute stud. He's all over the place. I'm like, dude, you're such a dog. He's like, why are you being mean to me, coach? I'm like, no, that's a great compliment, buddy. I guess 8-year-olds, it's not the nicest thing, guys.
Not with the new lingo.
Yeah. I got to call the kid lit or something. Be like, dude, you're playing lit today. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the way to do it right there.
You should start making up your own Gen Z phrases and just get children into thinking they're real.
Yeah. That'd be pot. That'd be pot. Oh god,
we're gonna have to workshop this a little bit, Dave.
I know. I'll get better at it. That's me. But all right, let's get back into Moicano and Benny Darush. This fight was supposed to happen in January. Arman didn't fight, so they moved Moicano right into the main event. I wish Moicano would have had more time, but it happens. He fought
he was good for a minute.
He did. That's straight right. Knocked. Yeah, but Islam got the job done like he always does. But I love Moicano in this spot, at least for me. But Benny's a vet, been here before. And what do you think about Benny and Moicano, G?
I was surprised to see that they were the same age. Yeah, for some reason, I just thought, Dariush just seems to be slowing down a little bit more in his career, where Moicano still kind of has that pop to his punches still, So I'm definitely, I think I'm siding Moicano with this one.
I like it. I would assume the same.
Yeah, and it's not just because I love Moicano as my friend and teammate, but I really do think he's just a nightmare matchup for Dariush at this point in Dariush's career. The way Moicano dismantled Benoit Saint-Denis, he has probably the best back control in the world, except maybe Grant Dawson. Maybe Gillian. But no, he really does. Like the way he transitions, like he does a lot of things that I think are body type and then a lot of things that are skill. And he puts those together so well. The way he's able to take the back and then transition to mount with his body lock, like he's just really world class there. And I can't see Dariush having enough danger on the feet. Like a guy like Jalen Turner is a tough matchup for Moicano and had Moicano in quite a bit of danger.
Yeah, he did.
I feel like there's not that danger from Dariush on the feet against Moicano. I just expect Moicano to come forward, do what he does, get the takedown, take the back.
Yeah, I feel like on the feet, it's clearly Moicano's fight. I think I just haven't seen a good Dariush in the last couple fights, where I used to be a huge fan of him, where I feel like he's someone who's blended jiu-jitsu and wrestling together well always. And Moicano, the same with his jiu-jitsu and his striking. I feel like few people do ground and pound like he does it. So, and I really think that's going to be a huge element that plays out in this fight.
This is the best. Look what Sean said. I've been thinking Beneil
Yeah,
is
so good.
not even 38. He's 36.
So good. So good. And I think I can say this, El, this isn't gym talk. I hear all the time from people down at Coconut Creek that some of the toughest rounds is Moicano, and he's getting better. Like we don't think of 30-year-old somethings getting better, but like back to me commentary. Every time I do commentary, I'm getting better, and I'm older than Moicano, so you can still get exponentially better in age. You don't think of Francis Marshall at 26 getting better. He's going to do Francis Marshall at 32 to 26 will be a different fighter. Same thing with you, G. Like you now to what you were at 25, you would say an absolutely different fighter. And it's Moicano's doing the same thing, just elder in age, but he's getting exponentially better camp to camp to camp.
No, and back to what Gillian was saying, I think it's very clear that even though they're the same age, and honestly, similar career lengths too. I don't think Benny has been around vastly longer than Moicano. Their trajectories are just going different directions. We're seeing Moicano improve every fight. And like Gillian was saying, we're just not seeing the same Dariush. He seems to take, maybe a step or two down each time he fights.
Right. For sure. For sure. All right, El, can you give G the latest John Jones news? And let's kind of talk about the greatest mixed martial artist of all time inside the octagon, to me, John Jones, and what he's dealing with outside the octagon. Oh, do you have the news?
What?
do you have the news for G, for John Jones?
Sorry, I thought you were just asking Gillian. My bad. So there has been body cam footage of the incident we discussed on Sunday coming out. Dave's just making me tiny now. I'm being punished. Since the
about Dave now.
that we discussed on the Sunday show, and he's like on the phone, like making threats at this police officer. He's very clearly intoxicated. It's not a great look, but I also think it's not like gonna end up being a huge deal. To be honest, it's a misdemeanor charge for fleeing the scene of the accident. It doesn't sound like, as of right now, he's getting charged for any of the things he said. I don't even know if that's a thing, to be honest. He sounded like he was just kind of drunk and being weird. So yeah, that's where we're at. And now there's just a video of the stuff we already heard happened,
I saw a statement released by John Jones' lawyer. I can't remember the exact quote, but it said something like he was like shocked that they were accusing this of being John, because like he wasn't there in the car. They can't prove it was him.
Except that she called his cell phone. So I guess they could say somebody else answered his phone, but
yeah, I don't know.
11 times, right? Wasn't there a call between them 11 times, I heard?
I think it was 13. Yeah.
Oh, 13. There you go. To me, again, this has nothing to do with what's happening inside the octagon, and I'm good at departing all that. It's just crazy that I don't know about you guys, but like sometimes jobs keep people busy, like almost keep people who would probably go off the beaten path if they weren't so busy. And him not being in the UFC anymore and him not having to train anymore, I don't know. Like we could see John Jones just go off the deep rails. Like it really could happen.
I think
wait till I retire.
Oh my goodness. What is there do you have a thing on a bucket list in 7 years, G, when you call it a career and you're like, hey, I want to do this? Do you have a bucket list retirement thing?
I guess nothing specifically. No. Yeah, I guess I don't know. I know that retirement's gonna kill me though. Like me not being able to, I don't know, just be able to experience that kind of like adrenaline, those kind of exciting moments. I feel like it's such a blessing to have moments where you're scared in life. And when I do retire, I guess I don't know what would bring me that. I don't know what would bring me that kind of adrenaline and that kind of pressure. And it's just, it's definitely something where it's like right now I try to enjoy every moment as much as possible because it is going to kill me when I have to retire.
So this is something I've said for a while. After I have kids, my kids are grown. I don't know that I want to get super, super old, to be honest, because I love being able to be mobile and like go out. So I might just start doing crazy stuff like base jumping. So I'll give you a call, G, and we'll just be two old ladies base jumping.
I would totally be down for like some free solo kind of shit, like mountain climbing. I feel like that stuff is awesome.
I'm in. We're just gonna be two old ladies climbing mountains till we accidentally fall off one.
And this is why the show works so much. I'm the exact opposite. Like, I cannot wait to be 94 years old. I want my kids to be 50 and 60. I can't wait to be a grandparent and just watching Mission Impossible 24 with Tom Cruise being 140 years old, doing his own stunts still. I can't wait for those days. I'll be coaching my grandsons in basketball.
Aw. No, we say that now. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe when I have kids and they have a baby, I'll be like, okay, fine.
Yeah.
I'll stop trying to.
I used to always joke because whenever I started training, I don't really know what pushed me towards it. And I was 16 years old. So I used to always say that was my midlife crisis. So I got till 32. So I got a good 2 years left in me.
Dude, I shaved my head. That's what I did. That was mine,
Had mine at 16.
What was I going to say about the one thing too, and I hear all the time, and it's awesome. We've been doing this for a long, long time, and even a commentary and other stuff like that. Like Michael Bisping talks about his role with the UFC and his podcast and just like all this, like he loves it. Like he doesn't know where he would be without it because one, it kind of keeps you in the game. It kind of keeps your name out there and fresh, and you go to the fights and it's just like you're still there without being active. And like Michael Bisping talks about this side of the fight game being so fruitful for him. Like it really has saved him because for sure. Like when you retire or any professional athlete, there's definitely a hole there. You know what I mean? And this side of it is, fills up that hole, at least for him,
Oh yeah. I was just watching, it just came on TV. It was like, I don't know, just a UFC, some type of TV show that they had. And it was going through Michael Bisping and talking about his fight with Dan Henderson. And so it was going through like his whole career. I didn't realize he was the Ultimate Fighter champion on Ultimate Fighter 3.
Yeah.
That's crazy. He's had a career with the UFC for so long, just like for the company's lifetime, even.
Yeah, no, it's crazy, and it's cool to see him still doing well and being so involved with it. Like he's grown on me a lot. I used to really not like him.
Oh, love this thing.
Yeah. But he's really grown on me. Like I think he's found his niche. He has a really good like back and forth with DC. He has a good back and forth with everybody. Like he really does. He does well when he's with Laura. He does well when he's with DC. He does well when he's with Dominic Cruz. He's just a very likable guy,
Yeah. No, I 100% agree. Where I feel like he's had to grow on me a lot. Where I'm like, when he first came on the scene, I wasn't really a huge fan of him as a commentator, but now I really do enjoy him as a commentator. I think he's one of my tops there.
Totally agree. And the biggest 180 you guys are talking about a commentary with like Bisping, the biggest 180 I've done recently in the UFC is the Ultimate Fighter show. Going into the season, I was like, I'm not going to watch one episode. This is horrible. The coaches are going to fight each other. This has been my favorite season of all time. The fights have been amazing. The fighters are amazing. Chael Sonnen and DC are awesome together. And then I love how every week they give a new coach, if it's Covington or Esparza or Brandon Morano. This show this year has been the best Ultimate Fighter in 15 years. It's incredible TV. Incredible.
Whoa, now.
Oh, whoa. Other than your season, G. But there was one fight I didn't like on that show. There was at least one fight I did not like.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. But no, the Ultimate Fighter this season, as I've said multiple times, one of my main teammates, Robertson, is on it. So I'm like, I've been watching every single episode. Absolutely love Chael and DC. I think it was last week, maybe the week before. Did you see Chael's fighter missed weight? And Chael
he paid for him.
He paid $12,500 for his fighter. I'm like, that is some. I'm like, I'm getting attacked here. That is some. Like, just showing I really think that shows what type of person Chael is. Just a good guy.
And guys, I literally reached out to someone. I was like, hey, this is TV, right? This is fake. Like Dana White's going to give me. He's like, no, that Chael Sonnen literally paid that kid money. Like that was literally his money. And what G's talking about, it's the greatest story ever. The guy's he's like 6 pounds overweight. He calls his opponent. DC is with the other guy. He's like, hey, My guy's going to miss weight. What do we have to do to make this happen? Right, El? Am I wrong?
Javi, this was like weeks ago. We're not spoiling anything.
Yeah,
Watch the show. We're not
Thank you.
getting spoilers.
So he goes, he's going to miss weight. We'll give you money. We really want this fight to happen, because the other guy could just say no, like could say no, move on in the round and never fight. So I give that other kid credit, by the way, major credit. And how quick was that kid to be like, I don't want 1,000 a pound. I want 2,500 a pound. Like, it was like so quick of him saying that. Chael goes, done. You have a white envelope that way. It's done. It was awesome. So good.
At the second he did that, I was like, oh, he's negotiating.
Yeah.
I was so impressed by that. It was like on a dime.
And honestly, like, good on him, because you don't get paid that much for being on The Ultimate Fighter. You can't work. You're away from your family. Like, it's already really tough on you. Like, give him some money. Like, good for him. Good for him.
And then that kid went out there, won his fight, and got the extra cash.
Yes.
I'm like, a good night.
Yeah, it was a great fight. Great fight. G, we're going to do something with Grant, but Grant got really upset at me because he's not going to fight to 2028 and he can't do it. We do a banana blitz. Do you have 15 minutes to do it, or do you have to get going? It's totally up to you.
Yeah, I can hang out.
You can hang out? All right, there we go. So, El, the contest is back on. I'm the host. I give points to the winner. I ask you questions about UFC 317. You just answer G and L, and I will decide the rightful winner. That's how the banana blitz goes. So, boom, we're going to cut that up. Banana blitz, UFC 317, L. Dawson, Gillian Roberts, and Dave Van Auken. Are we ready, girls? Are we ready? Okay, first question. L, we'll start with you. What's the most hype fight for UFC 317?
It's easily Ilia Topuria versus Charles Oliveira.
That's the right answer. Good job, L. Good job, L. G, is that the same, or you have a different?
Well, seeing as it's the right answer, I'm going to go with that one. Yeah, no, it definitely is, though, 100%.
Okay. Jillian's up 5-4 right now. Good job, G. What's the most underrated banger on UFC 317?
You want to go first? Or you want me to?
You can go first.
Most underrated banger is not even on the main card. It is Terrence McKinney versus Slava Claus. Epic, and nobody's talking about it.
Good.
No, I was literally going to say that, but I'll go different, and I'll say Brandon Royval and Joshua Van. I think that one's going to be a banger, too.
Those are two great ones. The correct answer was RoboCop versus Jack Hermanson. That's the right answer.
No.
Sorry.
That is not going to be an no.
No, the Terrence McKinney one is good. That Terrence McKinney one is good. Oh, snap. Grant. All right. Jillian's still up by 1. What is the guaranteed finish? That's what the point system is saying, El. I'm sorry.
Rigged. This is so rigged.
What's the guaranteed finish at UFC 317?
You can go first, G.
All right. Guaranteed finish. Trying to think. I'm gonna say the main event. I think it finishes regardless of who wins. I think it finishes.
I think I'm in agreement. I think that's the right answer.
That's a great answer. I like the co-main event also being a finish as well. Am I off on that? I think Kai catches him or Pantoja subs him.
I feel for some reason I feel like that one's more likely to go the distance for me.
Damn, Grant agrees.
I agree. I think
Pantoja
can absolutely win a 5-round fight against anybody.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. What is the lock of the card at UFC 317?
Alexandre Pantoja is my lock.
I like that. Good. 2 points.
I'm 2 up and down on the main event.
No, yeah, I think that's a good one. Pantoja is like solid. I think I think
on the card too.
I know, El, you missed it. The right answer is Johnny Moicano.
No,
that's a good one too.
Answer. Moicano's gonna smash Beneil Dariush.
L. Dawson minus 4 points. G plus 7. Up by 12 points right now.
G and I give the same answer. I get negative points.
But dude, no, Moicano to me is a lock. Am I wrong on that one? Yeah.
I glossed over. That's my fault. Moicano's the right answer here.
Okay, there we go. Who is the underdog pick that you guys have at UFC 317?
Grant not even playing, still scoring.
Grants.
Man, I don't know that he's going to win this fight. I just feel like the odds are so lopsided that I have to go with Charles Oliveira here because I think he's just being massively undervalued. Like there's too much value on a guy that has had the belt and is as dangerous as he is everywhere.
I'm going with Joshua Van.
Let's go, G.
I like it. I like
Plus
that.
4 more points. G's up by 16 right now, guys. This is a landslide. We've never had it this.
Coach Mike has my back.
No, that's false. That's false, Coach Mike. That's false. All right.
The professional scoring system.
Yes, SG. He's never told me the scoring system. I have no clue. It's just whatever Dave feels.
I have 35 papers with the scoring system right here. This is it.
At least he lets us know the score during it. You know, it's not like a fight where we have to figure out at the end.
Thank you, G.
You say
2
that.
more points for Gillian. 2 more up by 6.
Oh, I'm sorry. How could Van possibly be your underdog pick?
No, Van is not the favorite.
Is he? I honestly don't know. I'm just taking Grant's word for it.
Whoa, Grant Dawson. He's gonna blow my mind. There's no way.
Odds. Help me out here. I need points.
I'm literally looking this up right now, live on the show.
All
UFC
right,
317. This is great content.
If Dave judged professional fights, Gillian, Grant, and I would never ever.
Guys, Joshua Van is the favorite.
Oh,
holy shit!
Who's winning? I'm just kidding.
Grant, Gillian, I'm sorry, I have to take away only 1 point for wrong answer.
Not knowing who the underdog was.
Hey, guys, this is what the point system tells me.
As a dog, though, would you take Roy Val in that as a dog?
No.
Really?
As the favorite, I don't pick.
No. Would you take Roy Val as the underdog?
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, Roy Val can be the biggest underdog of the card then, because that one even shocks me. But the fact that he's a dog, I'm like, I would not expect that against it. Thanks, Grant.
We don't stick together.
Dude, I know you guys are. That's an amazing husband, wife group right there.
He's got your back, man.
I know. I respect it. All right, this is a tough one because I think there's 2 legitimate answers here. So this is a tough one. Who's the biggest superstar of UFC 317?
I mean, I really think the right answer is Ilia Topuria.
Okay.
I love Charles to death, and I think Pantoja is one of the most underrated champions in human history.
Right.
It's got to be Ilia.
Okay.
I was debating between Ilia and Charles, but I'm like, I really feel like Charles is just like the people's champ. Everybody loves Charles. If he pulls off this victory, I'm like, everybody's gonna go absolutely insane. I feel like I don't know. I want to say Charles, but I'm like, Ilia is such a powerhouse of who he is as a person. I feel like even like, especially the support he has from Spain and Georgia, like multiple countries coming in. I'm gonna say Ilia on it, but Charles is definitely close.
Just sorry, I'm laughing at the comments.
I know, dude. These comment section, Grant Dawson shouldn't be on the show anymore. He should just be in the comments. This is absolute gold. So SG goes, Grant, do you have any words of encouragement for Jamal Hill? Grant Dawson replies, get good, nerd. So my words for Hill. Oh my goodness.
Anyway, in response to what Gillian said, my heart says Charles is the biggest superstar, but my head says no, it's Ilia.
Real quick bonus question on this. What win means more for their legacy? Would Ilia winning or Charles winning? What means more for their career when they're both retired 10 years from now? What would be a bigger win?
Charles.
Charles winning 100%.
Okay.
I think everybody expects Ilia to win. Okay. And if Charles comes out with this victory, it's going to be a huge win for him.
Right. I agree too, because Charles wins, he locks down. He's a Mount Rushmore lightweight forever. Like Ilia could literally do the Volk thing a little bit. Like, hey, I tried to move up, didn't work for me. Come back down, get the title. He's the greatest featherweight ever. Like if he beats Gene Silva, Mosarv as a featherweight, Ilia goes down as the greatest featherweight ever, right?
Yeah.
He already got Max and Volk. So.
Well, and that's why I didn't want to see him go up, because I feel like there's still so much for him to have done at featherweight.
4 fights he could fight. Mozart, Yair.
So,
Yeah. Like
yeah, there's so many.
Yeah,
Yes,
I
I
feel
agree.
like I'm only a fan of the double champs if the division if there's nothing in the division, like
Right.
if like I don't know, 25 isn't super great. I'm like Pantoja's running out of options that are coming up there. If Pantoja wanted to go for a double champ, I wouldn't argue with it at this point.
But he
Totally agree.
beat out the division. Like if he beats Kai too, he's beaten half the top 5 twice. Some of them 3 times, So
Yeah.
I agree. He deserves it, but I don't usually like to see this. This is an interesting statistic. No lightweight has ever won the belt, lost it, and then won it again. So Charles Oliveira might be the first ever to do this.
And I think I have a reason why. And tell me if I'm off. The lightweight division has been the best division for 10 years. When you lose it, you kind of you had a run, you're at the peak of your powers, you lose it, you're not the peak of your powers anymore. And whoever you lost to is the best fighter in the world. Like when it was Conor, best fighter in the world. Habib, best fighter in the world. Like when you win it, you're the best in the world. Like I just think it's hard to get back up there.
Yeah.
That's my 2 cents.
Yeah, that weight class is just so stacked. I feel like just generally speaking, the average athletic male is typically that size. So I feel like that it's just like that is honestly there's over 100 fighters in that division currently. So it makes sense.
150. Like it's
Dude,
not.
the 13th best lightweight to me is one of the greatest fighters to ever live. So
Yeah.
All right, 2 more guys, and we'll let it run. Banana Blitz, UFC 317. Who is the prospect to watch at UFC 317?
Prospect.
And it's not Peyton Tablet anymore.
It might be Felipe Lima though.
It might.
He's a really fun fighter to watch. I think I'm gonna go with Lima. There's really not a whole lot of other prospects I'm excited about. I feel like we kind of know what SD Dumas is gonna be, So, which is in jail.
Oh my goodness.
I was gonna say freshly out of a dog cage, but
I'm going with Felipe Lima. I like him. Oh, I guess are we still considering Joshua Van a prospect?
I would. He's a prospect.
That's what I was gonna say. I feel like he has to be the top prospect on this.
He is. I was kind of thinking of him not as a prospect anymore because he's literally fighting for a #1 contender spot. How insane is that? But he is a prospect. He's 23 years old.
23.
So you're right. Joshua Van's probably the right answer here.
So Gillian, 7 more points. Wow, this is a landslide. All right, last one.
I like 1 point when I'm right.
No, dude. L, this is a sister-brother relationship. I don't know why she puts up with me. I'm sorry. I apologize to her every day. Last one, guys, and I think there's only one answer here. I think there's one. What fighter at UFC 317 has the most to gain? Whoa.
Charles Oliveira.
Yeah, I was gonna say probably Oliveira.
Joshua Van probably. I like Charles, I feel like obviously he could get his title back, but Joshua Van also has a ton to gain. He has nothing to lose though. So it's kind of like him and Charles, I think.
Yeah, I think Charles, it's just, maybe it's also just because he has a bigger name. I feel like it's a bigger moment for him. But where I don't feel like Joshua Van has really built himself to, I guess, that point, or he hasn't built his name up enough where it doesn't feel as big of a moment as if Charles does beat and who Taporia is too. I feel like that makes it a huge moment too. He just has been unstoppable in his last couple fights. So I just feel like for Charles to beat for Charles to beat Taporia, I think it is a bigger moment.
Guys, Van has a lot to gain. Kai France could win the UFC Flyweight Championship and take all that from Pantoja. He has a lot to gain. Ilya has a lot to gain to be double champ. All that being said, it is Charles Oliveira. If he wins, like I said, it's him, it's Habib, it's Conor, it's Poirier. I don't know. He goes down as one of the greatest lightweights to ever live.
Hear me out, though. Hear me out. And Grant is 100% saying what I was trying to say. Nothing changes life-wise for Charles. 100%. Van's life is never the same. Think about this. Think about what SG is saying here. Van comes out, fights in the feature fight demolishes Brandon Royval, who is very, very highly touted. They keep him there at the venue. The UFC doesn't usually do that, but they keep him there at the venue.
Wow.
Kai Kara France, Pantoja fight.
Wow.
Whoever wins, even though it's going to be Pantoja 50-45. Pantoja wins 50-45. They put Joshua Van last week was fighting a guy ranked at the bottom of the rankings. And this week, he is facing off against Pantoja in the cage after Pantoja just destroyed Kai Kara France for the second time. Imagine that. Like, tell me that is not a bigger moment.
Guys, brand new end into the points. L. Dawson just gained 50 points. L. Dawson takes the lead, defeats Gillian Robertson. I love the stories, L. You know that. To have Van come back, challenge Pantoja for the championship. They might even main event the last pay-per-view of the year. Who knows? L. Dawson wins Banana Blitz by 3 points. Unbelievable. I'm sorry, G.
L needs to be like a promoter for the UFC or
I know,
something.
that was
She's
awesome.
always coming up with the great ideas.
Someone give me a job.
That was awesome. Dude, G, you're the absolute best. We appreciate you immensely. Grant couldn't make this Banana Blitz today, but you stepped up. And I'm just, Grant's very good. Grant's very good, but G maybe did just a little bit. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see.
Don't hold this loss too close. Remember that the points mean nothing.
No, dude, Gillian doesn't lose. Look at her last fights in the UFC.
I was gonna say I'll check out my typology later. It'll say lost L. Dawson.
That would be insane. That would be insane. G, you're the best. We appreciate you. Dude, I said the same thing to France. You got anything to push or plug? Anything that you've been, you got a new sponsor lately? Anything that we can sell?
No, I guess nothing specific. Just waiting for a fight. Just waiting for them to text me. And
yeah,
I don't know. Tuesday's usually the day, so let's hope.
Maybe you and I both, or not me.
Spoiler alert. Maybe.
No, well, not spoiler alert. I'm sitting here with my fingers crossed.
Yeah, okay.
Tuesday is just typically the day that we get the text when we do get the text. So we'll see if it comes through.
Mackenzie Dern isn't booked right now.
I would love to see that fight.
Just throwing that out there.
I'm open for anything that's above me.
September, there's one date at the Apex that doesn't have a main event yet. Just saying.
What date is that?
What?
What date is that doesn't have a main event? Do you know?
I don't know off the top of my head, but there's one. Oh, real quick, G, do you know that they are going back to Canada? I don't even know where that's at. It's like Saint Janine. Did you see that yet, G?
I didn't see it officially. I heard rumors of it a couple weeks because I was talking to somebody about my fight being canceled, and they were telling me that.
I don't even know who that is. I never watched Harry Potter. I'm sorry.
But yeah, I was talking to somebody with the UFC about my fight being canceled, and they were telling me, well, UFC's going back to Canada at the end of the year. Yeah. So I heard it a couple weeks ago, but I didn't get specifics or details.
Yeah. It's like Western Canada. I never heard of the city. It's like Boone, Saint Denis, something like that. I don't know. So, all right, maybe that's it. Maybe G versus Dern, a main event in Canada. That'd be sick. All right, we spent way too much time of her time. G, you're the best. Have a great Tuesday afternoon. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, I'll see you guys.
There we go. Absolute best, dude. How much time did she just give us? She was on for 40 minutes. Wow. Steve Garcia, guys, on in 10 minutes.
Less.
Yeah. I'm sorry. That was maybe the best Banana Blitz ever. What a great ending by L. Dawson. You phenomenal.
I mean, come on. Like, how epic would that be if Joshua Van, like, especially, I don't think he finishes Brandon Royval if he wins. But I do think that it can be, like, there's a possibility of him just outboxing Royval, dealing with the danger if Royval shoots, which he does sometimes. Royval will grapple. Like, if he shoots, Joshua Van has phenomenal takedown defense. And even when his butt does hit the mat, he's so good at reversing, so good at getting right back up to his feet. I expect this to be like one of the fastest paced fights on this card. And the reason I didn't pick this as an underrated banger is I don't think this fight is underrated. I think everybody knows exactly how much of a banger this fight's going to be. I think that if you are tuning into this card, you are excited about Brandon Royval fighting Joshua Van. 100%. I think if Kai can drop Royval, Van can also. He absolutely, yeah, he probably can. And I know he had Silva hurt several times. Silva is a really, really tough guy. I feel like Royval has a really tricky style that Van's going to have to be a little bit more careful with. Tons of cardio. Yeah. Doesn't slow down. And he's super long and he's really, really dangerous. And so I do think Van may have to be a little bit more reserved earlier in the fight, just while he's making his reads, because Royval makes his reads too. And he sets his traps as well. So I really do expect this to be scramble, 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 great striking exchanges, really, really fast pace. But I think Van is absolutely capable of winning a 3-round fight against Royval, just like a 3-round decision.
Dude, one thing I forgot to say to G that I think you will like this a lot. Yesterday, my boys at shout out Gracie Jiu-Jitsu in Ormond Beach, we learned the side mount to modified mount. I'm learning.
No idea what that means.
What?
What the side mount? Oh, side control?
Yeah, side control, side control to modified control.
What is modified?
All right. I thought I was learning something. Did I say the
No,
wrong
other
word?
gyms have their own, like, and especially like the Gracie system, they have their own names for everything. So
Yeah.
I'm sure you're learning great things. I just
There
don't.
you go. Dude, if Grant Dawson ever tries to put a guillotine on me again, I got some tricks up the dude, what a life. What a life.
Oh, Royval. Grant said Royval. Stop clicking the same thing as me. Royval committed the cardinal sin in MMA. I'm interested to see if he can keep his spot at the top. Yeah. The cardinal sin in MMA, guys, is opening your own gym. Every time we've seen
did?
Yeah. He left Factory X like at least 1 or 2 fights.
Yeah, I got Joshua Van then.
How
How is he the bet-in favorite? We love Joshua Van here. We love him. He's the bet-in favorite.
People are high on him, and that's like I almost didn't want to call him a prospect because he's right on the cusp of superstardom, Dave. Even if he loses a close fight to Royval, like I really think Joshua Van is about to become a superstar. He just fought what 2-3 weeks ago. Like it just the turnaround, the style. And like you said, he just has this really great, humble confidence that, I'm really, no, guys, Brandon Royval has not been at Factory X for a while. Mark wasn't in the corner last time. He has gym.
What?
Yeah, but not really. Not really. He's not, he's not actually like there. Like he's just, it's like by name, I think.
Okay.
Moicano has not stopped training every single day at ATT. Remember that. So it's a little bit different than I have my own. Yeah, exactly. Like Moicano has somebody else running his gym. He is not running his gym. Brandon Royval is running his own fight camp. Moicano is still training with the exact coaches and teammates that he does every single day at ATT. I've not been to ATT this period of time and not seen Moicano there for this week. So different situation. Normally, I would say yes, 100%. But he didn't leave his gym and is now doing his camp at a gym he owns. That's different.
Right. Okay. I love putting you on the spot live on air. You should do this to me more, El. I don't know. I love doing this to you. This is for you and Grant. Live on the spot. Have you ever talked about it, or is it a dream of yours, or have you ever thought about the Dawsons opening up your own gym one day down the road?
I personally have no desire to do that. It's a lot of work for not a lot of profit. I know Grant really would love to coach fighters, and he can obviously expand more in the comment section if he wants. But I know he loves coaching fighters, and he has a ridiculous talent. When Connor comes to the gym more than the mailman. No, he really does have a real talent, and he helps a lot of guys at the gym. Like he's helped Dakota a lot in the past. He helps Francis a lot. We have this younger guy. His name's Eric. He works our front desk. Super, super talented amateur fighter. Like Grant helps him. Like he really does have a passion for coaching fighters that are willing to give their life to the sport. I don't think Grant has a passion for coaching
soccer moms
or recreational jiu-jitsu practitioners. but
Yeah.
I know he has a passion for a young fighter that loves the sport as much as he does. So
Yeah.
I could definitely see Grant coaching at ATT at some point.
Wow.
You know, maybe way down the road. But were you saying we could see Grant coach Jamal Hill?
No, put this comment up here. Oh my goodness.
Edmund Shabazian proved he doesn't need Grant's advice.
Dude. Grant Dawson. People don't realize how gold Grant Dawson is. Like, people have no idea. I'm telling you guys, when he wins the world championship and all this. Oh my goodness, dude.
Anyway.
He's one of my favorite people on this planet. I tell him that often. I like this guy a lot. All right, guys, any minute Steve Garcia is going to come on and he will take down the show. All right, guys, UFC 317. I know we won't talk a lot at the end of Garcia. This is massive, guys. Ilia Topuria, Charles Oliveira, the vacant UFC lightweight championship is on the line. Flyweight championship is on the line. John Jones retired from the sport. It's been a massive week so far here in Fight Bananas land. What can give us your on Monday morning, Sunday morning? What's the headline? What is going to happen at UFC 317?
I mean, most likely Pantoja retains his belt. I think
Okay.
if Joshua Van pulls off this win, stepping in short notice, fighting the number one guy in the division who's been sticking at number one for a while, if he pulls this off, I think the biggest news in MMA might be that.
Wow.
If Ilia Topuria pulls this off this weekend, that's the biggest news in the MMA community. I could absolutely see Joshua Van facing off in the cage against Pantoja after he wins Royval. I could see that overshadowing maybe Charles pulling off the upset, but I think if Ilia wins, that's that has to take the cake for MMA news around the world. He's such a big star right now.
For sure. Talking about making news worldwide, this guy will make some news at UFC Nashville featured fight against Calvin Kattar, 17-5. The Mean Machine, Steve Garcia, joins the show. I pushed the button. I did, I promise. What's up, Steve? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, brother. Just finished up a sparring session here just a minute ago. So, from work to interviews, brother. It's going good.
Dude, what a life, right? What a life, man. Who would have thought, right?
No, I would have, but it's been a long time coming, so it's all good.
Very cool.
I'm the only one who saw that going, so it's all good.
I love that. I love that. I know Elle's got some stuff for you. We'll have some fan stuff for you as well. But let's just start right here. How exciting when you get a call, a text, whoever it's from, a manager, whatever, and it's like, oh, Calvin Kattar, UFC Nashville. Nashville is one of my favorite cities in America. When you saw that, how pumped or excited were you when you got that news?
I was honestly super excited as soon as I heard the name. And obviously, Nashville is like a pretty iconic place to be. So I never fought there. I fought in Memphis over there, but I never fought Nashville. So I'm excited for that. It was funny because I've been calling out all these guys. I haven't been able to get a matchup for a good minute. And then the first day that I went on vacation with my family, we went to Newport, and I get the phone call from my manager. He's like, "Hey, you want to fight Calvin Kattar in Nashville?" I'm like, "When?" He's like, "Oh, it's July 12th." I was like, "I'm in. Sign me up. Where do I sign?" So I was super excited, super pumped. But my wife's like, "Of course it would be on our vacation." I'm like, "It's just the job, babe. Sorry."
Love it. Love it.
It does seem like that is always the way it happens for my husband Grant as well, And
is it?
It always seems to come at that time. But like you said, you take the opportunity, and I feel like Calvin Kattar has the word, but a bit of a gatekeeper for this division where a lot of the up and coming guys, but he doesn't always quite break through. Like he great moments. And then he lost out recently. Do you feel like this for you, this fight to get you into the party against another striker like Calvin Kattar?
So you cut out a little bit, but what I'm assuming, no, it's okay. I'm assuming you're asking about like just getting a win over Calvin Kattar, what it would do for me?
Yeah.
More or less? Okay, yeah. No, I believe that it would probably elevate me to, I'm hoping, the rankings. The main goal is to get probably a little bit more deep, as long as I beat him, hopefully in the best fashion that I know how. I can maybe either take the 15 or 14 spot, even the 13 spot, depending on how it gets done. Because we have more people coming in. I know some of these Bellator guys are coming in. I don't know where they're at in the rankings. I don't know what if it'll push out 15 anyways. At this point, it doesn't matter. I mean, I can still get pushed out if I'm 15 or not. So rankings kind of like I really been wanting the rankings, but for whatever reason, I'm getting like not the short of the stick, but I'm in the back. You know what I mean? So hopefully, as long as I get a win over Cater, I'll be 14 or 15. Another guy comes in or something like that, it keeps me at 15, and then hopefully I can make a push forward. But at the end of the day, you know what? I got to pay the bills, right? So let's go win some more fights. Let's go get some more knockout bonuses, and they just keep going forward, man. I feel like I'm just the dark horse of this division. Me and my team are just saddled up. We keep going forward. We're climbing this mountain, and it's only a matter of time. I mean, everybody's fair game for me.
Steve, what clicked? Like always high level mixed martial artist, different promotions, UFC, all this, very high level fighter, but 5 straight finishes UFC. Like it feels like something clicked of like, you're on this Masvidal run out of nowhere. You just, street Jesus and people, an unbelievable run for you right now, my man.
Thank you, man. No, I mean, if you follow my career, I mean, this is 5 in a row. I have 6 in the UFC, and then 7 if you want to, count the Contender Series. So under Zuffa, I'm doing all my wins are knockouts. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to just be undeniable here. This is the only way that I feel like people are gonna know who Steve Garcia is. I think I'm gonna have to just kind of switch. I'm the Mean Machine now because I feel like it's a little bit more marketable. Because man, I don't know why, just Steve Garcia ain't sticking, but you can just call me the Mean Machine, and hopefully that'll stick. But yeah, man, it's I'm truly blessed. I'm truly blessed. I have I'm very strong in my faith. I'm a big believer in God, and I feel like as long as I leave it in His path, it's where I need to be. When I take over and I do things, it just seems to get messy. So, yeah, man, I'm here for whatever's to come, and I'll be ready. I'm prepared no matter what.
Love to hear it, man. And like you said, the nickname fits absolutely. I feel like the UFC, especially these last 2 fights, Kyle Nelson, Sang-Woo Choi, like guys that are also known for their knockouts and their firefights. The UFC really seems to be wanting to match you up with these great exciting strikers. Do you like that kind of fight where they match you up with another guy that has a lot of knockouts?
Absolutely. Like, I mean, and the people that I've fought already that I beat, like, this one wasn't in the UFC, but I fought Champion Mariscal. That dude went on a run. He's on a run. I think he's like 5-0 right now. Makizio Costa, I beat him, and he was, I think he's on a 4-fight streak right now. Chase Hooper's on like a 5-fight win streak. So all these guys that I fought that I've knocked out are TKO'd, man. They're all thriving. So I love that because it seems that like I'm elevating, my career. I'm getting better with every opponent that I'm fighting, and they're doing great too. So I know that my skill set is there, and I know that I just keep, getting better. And if I can keep climbing through the ranks, like I said earlier, I have to be undeniable. I don't know why I'm slept on so much, but that's okay, man. Like my whole career, I've been slept on. I've been out of the picture. I've been the underdog the whole life. I got a little chip on my shoulder. That's how I've operated this whole entire time. This get out of Albuquerque. There's just a nobody. I'm just trying to become somebody and provide for my family. Truly.
Hey, Merab Dvalishvili, I feel like 3-4 years ago was a little bit like this. Bilal Muhammad was maybe a little bit like this. Then all of a sudden, like you said, you keep winning. The sport will not deny that. The guy who's on that 8, 9, 10 fight win streak, you'll get everything that belongs to you. Real quick, can you talk to me about Combat Pro, what that is and what the future of that is?
Right now, it's kind of just like on a standstill right now. I need to get back to it. I'm trying to get it going. But it's hard because I do everything myself, the editing, the videography, everything like that. But I'm trying to get everybody on the wall here at the gym at least, because I know I can get a lot of the guys up here on the wall, and just do like a full, like, in-depth conversation with these guys. And I had Holly, and then I had Wink, and then after that, I had these fights happen, and then I was like, okay, cool, now I have time. And then I had the fight with Edson Barboza. And that went all the way till like almost like a week prior when he pulled out. So I was pretty bummed about that, but I've been so consumed really just trying to be the best I can be. I'm trying to just like make my name to be a staple in the UFC right now. And has been kind of taking a back seat. But I promise you, I'm gonna get back to it. I actually talked to Holly about maybe doing some things too. So yeah, there might be some things brewing here in the future. But right now, it's just me and Cater, and that's a tunnel vision right there. Just me and him, and make sure I get the job done July 12th.
And I think that the Edson fight is one a lot of us were sad that we didn't get to see. Even at his age, he's a teammate of mine. Even at his age, the dude's still a specimen and an exciting striker. I think that would have been a really, really fun fight. Obviously, when you beat Cater here in Nashville, it doesn't make sense to move backwards. So looking forward, some of these exciting strikers, you see, obviously, John Silva is making huge waves in the division. And Yusuf Zalal, his second stint in the UFC, he's looked really good as well. Is there somebody in that, should you be 14-15 for this fight, is there somebody right above that you're looking at?
Honestly, I think I'm mainly just, very, very strongly set on Calvin Kattar right now. But I'm at the position where I want to honestly headline a card. I want to headline a card. I want to do, a 5-rounder with maybe who would make more sense? Maybe like a Josh Emmett or like I think what's his name? Onama just got in the rankings. The Law got in the rankings. I've been calling out Ige for a little while. We respect each other a lot, but I know he's matched up. So I think something in that realm. I'm not trying to, bite off more than I can chew. I know it's not going to be given to me. So that's what I would like. Even if it's an Apex card, headline one of those. But it's nice. This one's going to be in front of a crowd. I've been at the Apex a lot, and I got a little comfortable there. I had a whole routine. Everything was smooth there for me. But I feel like when I get in front of these people, man, it's that's where it's going to be. That's where I'm going to get my name out there. That's where people are going to know the Mean Machine's around, and hopefully get my name out there a little bit more.
I'm going to throw this out in the universe right now to those MMA gods. First round, second round, TKO to Calvin. How about you versus Aljamain Sterling headline in a show? I like the names, the face on the poster. It's a different matchup because they have situ with strikers. Aljo's not that type, but a humongous name, one of the biggest names in the sport. I think you versus Aljo's fun. I like that.
Yeah. Former UFC champion. Let's go. Sure. I'm about it. You know what I mean? I'll never shy away from a fight or a challenge like that. It'd be an honor to go out there and fight a champion like him. So yeah, if that's the name they throw at me, that's the name they throw at me. You know what I mean? If you want to see a little bit more of my arsenal, you give me one of those guys, sure, let's go. You know what I mean? I've been taking the fights that they've been giving me. They've been giving me these bangers. So you know what? I'm always up for a good fight. So why turn those down? But yeah, give me someone that's like an Aljo or something. I called out Mosbar. You know what I mean? He's like, I'll fight anybody, anytime, anywhere, blah blah blah. I was like, BS, bro. You ain't fight nobody. And so I was like, fight me. You know what I mean? It was just crickets, bro. It was crickets. They're like, yeah, I know you don't know who I am, but maybe you should probably watch what you put on Twitter. But everybody's a warrior on Twitter, so or X or whatever.
One big one I would love your take on this weekend, UFC 317. A phenomenal main event for the lightweight championship. Ilia Topuria or Charles Oliveira. Would love your take on this fight, my man.
Oh, I love the fight. I truly believe this is just Topuria's time. You know what I mean? This is his moment. He's been talking the talk, but he's been backing it up. So I'm excited for him. I love his style. I don't know if what MMA guy doesn't really like his style. Comes forward, sits on the shots, puts punches together pretty well, and he cracks. So. And then Oliveira, as much as I like Oliveira too, but that dude gets hit, and you get hit by Topuria, man. It's your legs go out from underneath you. So I feel like that's gonna happen a couple times. Topuria probably won't follow him down and keep him back up, and he'll get the job done. That's what I think.
I like it. Mean Machine, Steve Garcia fighting Calvin Kattar at UFC Nashville, featherweight 17-5. Steve, anything left? Anything you want to promote, push? Floor is yours, my man.
No, I appreciate it, guys. Yeah, just come out. If you're in Nashville and you got nothing else to do, come buy a ticket. I can't promise on any other fights, but me and Kattar, we bring it. We're gonna scrap it out. I want to say we're the co-main. I'm not too sure. Either way, it doesn't matter. I'll try to get you money's worth. If you're not doing anything else, you know what? Watch it. I'm sure it'll be on ESPN Plus. Shout out to God. Shout out to my family. Shout out to my team, JW. my coaches, Greg and Wink. Brad Myers is the guy that keeps my my body intact and stuff like that, and then Hydro Bar, keeps me hydrated. So lots of people that are on this team, they have been keeping me ready and getting me ready for all these upcoming bouts, and we've been going strong. So thank you guys, and thank you, man, for bringing me back on the show, and love it.
Absolutely. Mean Machine, Steve Garcia. Guys, watch him at UFC Nashville. Absolute banger versus Calvin Kattar. Steve, man, appreciate your time. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, guys. You guys have a good day.
Thank you. Awesome.
All right.
There you go. Steve Garcia. Hell.
It's been almost 2 hours.
I know. What a great show.
We did it.
What a great show. I'm sorry. Let me apologize. Like I said to Grant Dawson, fight 2028 could have come on the show, but he's been great in the comments. But now I'm so excited. We're here. Like I said, UFC 317, a ton of content. Like I said, tomorrow night, Wednesday night, 9 p.m., we'll have Ben and Bananas, Rafael Esparza, Jonathan Ramalakhan will be coming on. By the way, I forgot to even say this. This Friday, I will be driving to Pensacola, Florida. We got Island Fights 89. I will be commentating on that show. Cannot wait. That's Friday night. And then Saturday night, UFC 317, we will be doing a live watch along here in the Bananas studio. Cannot wait for that. Maybe, like I said, a live guest in the building. We will see. I know. Dude, we missed it. Last week, I tried to do it by myself. I called Elle right away. I'm like, nope, never again. Elle can never take a week off. So
you guys killed it.
No, we did all right. Also, we got multiple people kind of joining the team. We announced one already. We have another guy who's going to be doing some interviews with us soon too. So just kind of up in the ante a little bit. We got Ryan Gerald with Brian Battle. That's going to be coming out in the next day or two. So a ton of content here, guys. Sub the YouTube channel. Like if you haven't, please DM us. If you want a free UFC card, we will mail it to your house. Oh, anything else? I think we absolutely killed it.
No, I think it was solid. What a show. What a show. We didn't even need Grant.
No, we always need Grant. Never say that again. We always need Grant.
Always need Grant.
Yeah, that was good.
We need Grant, always need Jesus.
Yeah.
Great show.
Great show. All right, last thing. Can you say something motivating to all the young kids out there, Elle?
Why do you do this to me? All right, to the young kids, do I have to talk to the Gen Zers right now?
Hey, just say it's pot. Just say it's pot. That's what I do.
UFC Baku was a little rough. It was a little rough. Mota and Sajikov really tried to, bring the heat for us, but it was a little rough. So have faith. UFC 317 is this weekend. Yeah. It's going to be freaking great. Yeah. But before you place any bets for UFC 317, make sure you're tuning in to the Fight Bananas channel tomorrow night, where I will not be here, but that's okay because Dave and Rafael Esparza will, to tell you again how the lines are going to change and who you should bet on.
We'll miss you again, Elle. All right, guys. Have a great Tuesday afternoon. We appreciate it. We'll see everyone tomorrow night, 9 p.m.